Okay, we're going to talk about adding and subtracting decimals. And when you think about adding and subtracting, well, it seems pretty straightforward. You guys know how to add and subtract by now. The issue is really remembering the right rule to use. So, for example, if we have right here a negative 25.38 plus 42.734, which is 42 and 734 thousandths. What we have here is different signs, right? Because this is a negative and we're adding a positive number to it. So right away you need to remember what the rule is. And the rule here, since they have different signs, is to subtract. So different, subtract, bigger is our rule. So what we're going to do is we're going to rewrite this problem in a way that we can subtract. So we're going to look at the larger number here, and we're going to put it on top. And so that number is 42.734. And we're going to subtract 25.38. And when we do this, we need to remember to line up our decimals. That's the most important thing. So 24, I'm going to put the decimals right underneath each other. 25.38 is what it is. So we're just going to take care of the subtraction because we know that's our rule, and we'll figure out the signs in a minute. And the first thing you need to notice also is that there's kind of an empty space right here underneath the 4. So we're going to go ahead and fill that in with a placeholder, which is 0. So now we can just go ahead and do that subtraction. Okay, so 4 minus 0 is 4. And when we do this subtraction, we have to borrow here. So this becomes a 6. This is a 13. This is 13 minus 8 is 5. 6 minus 3 is 3. And we're going to remember to put in that decimal in our final answer. And then we're going to do this subtraction. And 42 minus 25 is simply 17. Okay, so then we have positive 42 is definitely greater than 25. So the bigger number is positive. So our final answer definitely will be positive. So again, this is tenths, hundredths, thousandths. So this would be read 17 and 354 thousandths with a TH. So that's pretty straightforward. Just have to recognize the rule, subtract, put the bigger number on top, do the subtraction, put in your placeholder, and try to determine what your final sign is. Okay, we'll do another example right now. Okay, in this example, again, we're going to first look at our rule. And we're going to determine the rule by looking at this number right here, which is 29.1 is a positive number, but we're going to subtract a negative number. So whenever we have subtraction, you should remember that rule is keep change opposite. So we keep the 29.1, we change the sign to addition, and we get the opposite sign of the second number. So now all we have is 29.1 plus 3.05. It's simple addition. So again, we're going to line up our decimals, 29.1, and we're going to take 3, put the point right underneath the other one, 0.05. And we do have to add those. I'm going to put in my plus sign. And we notice right away there's another empty space right there. So I'm going to put in my placeholder. There is my 0 placeholder. And so now I could just simply add. Pretty straightforward. 0 plus 5 is 5. 1 plus 0 is 1. And then we add in our decimal. Don't forget to do that. 9 plus 3 is 12. And we're going to add 1. And we get 32.15, or 32 and 15 hundredths as our final answer. Okay, so pretty straightforward. I'm going to do one last problem. So the first rule was keep change opposite, and then we just simply added, right? Because we had same signs. So if you wanted to write in the second rule, it would have been same add, keep. Okay? All right, so let's do another problem. In this example, we have, again, that subtraction sign. So we know our first rule is going to be keep change opposite. Okay, so let's do that. We keep the first number leave it as it is. We change to addition, and then we get the opposite of the second number. So there we go. So we did keep, change, and opposite. Now what do we have? Well, we have a negative. We have a negative number right here. And we have a positive number right here. So in this situation, we have different signs. So our second rule is DSB. We're going to need to subtract, right? So again, let's put the bigger number. This is clearly $257 is bigger than $12, right? So we're going to put 257 on the top so we could do our subtraction. 257.11. We're going to subtract. Even though we now made it an addition, they have different signs, so we have to subtract. So we're going to line up our decimals. Don't forget to do that. We're just going to go ahead and do the subtraction and then worry about our signs after, okay? So it looks like a case of borrowing here. So we're going to borrow from this guy. And 11 minus 5 is 6. And then we're going to have to borrow again. And then we have 10 minus 4 is another 6. Put in that decimal. Do not forget the decimal. 6 minus 2 is 4. 5 minus 1 is 4. And then 2 minus 0 is 2. So now we have 244.66 or 244 66 hundredths. And now we're going to look at our sign to determine what is bigger, the 257 or the 12. Clearly 257 is bigger than 12. Pretty easy. It's a positive answer again. And that is our final answer. So replay these so you guys can get extra practice on your rules. And practice, 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 practice.